go. Detroit basketball. Ausar Thompson makes his appearance. I am somebody who appreciates when I get it right as much as when I get proven wrong. I appreciate when people step up and show up, even when they haven't been showing up in the past. I appreciate it. I feel like every time I tweet, somebody is struggling, they come back and hit a shot. I feel like every time I make a video and say somebody ain't stepping up, they do. I love that. I ain't mad at that at all because it couldn't have come at a better moment. Ausar Thompson with 22 points, 7 rebounds, blocks, steals. He was playing all over the place today. And I felt like I was watching this game and I was thinking to myself, I was like, man, I wonder if JB Bickerstaff showed the game to his players and said, I want you to look at all the plays that you could have made outside of scoring. What are all the little things that you could have done outside of scoring the ball? Just watch film and look at every little thing that you could have done. Every loose ball, every rebound, every box out, every closeout, every contest, every hands up in a passing lane, deflection. Because I feel like all of a sudden you saw the Detroit Pistons playing how they were playing throughout the regular season, where it was no sense of entitlement. It was no idea that they were supposed to be where they were. It was that they knew that they had to prove every moment that they were there, that they deserved to be there. And so every opportunity became an opportunity to prove themselves. And so they didn't mind crashing the rebounds. They didn't mind doing the little extra things over and over. They didn't mind that at all. I thought it was a fantastic game. And sometimes I think we have to leave room for gameplay that leaves us, how do you say, disappointed in moments. We have to be okay with that. You have to be okay with disappointments. You have to be okay with players not giving us what we want. Look, I've been, man, if you follow this channel, you already know. I stay disappointed. I stay surprised, but I also stay disappointed. This season has been a surprise, and yet there's been mad disappointments. But tonight, despite all the little things I could point out, all the little things I could complain about, Ausar Thompson, my dude, from my backyard, Bay Area, California, East Bay, right? Because there's a difference if you've been to the Bay, the East Bay from the South Bay, from the West Bay, all right? Or we should say, we call it the city, San Francisco. You know, we don't even call it the West Bay. It's just either San Francisco or the peninsula. But it is what it is. They from the East Bay where I'm at, where I'm from. So I had to show them love. But showing them love since they got to Detroit. I've been saying they need to let him go. They need to take the leash off him. Give him all the minutes he can handle. And they haven't throughout the regular season. But I ain't going to knock it. You was a 6 seed. I thought you were going to be a 32 to 35 win team. You were a 6 seed in the playoffs. Giving the Knicks hell. I'm here for it. Facts. What's good? Toussaint, team 7. What's good, man? Pistons, let's go. I'm all for it. I was in the sports bar eating some waffle fries and wings with my daughter. The reason why I didn't do earlier videos is because I've been celebrating my daughter's birthday. Turned 9. Couldn't be more of a happier girl dad. This was a moment we got to steal away, do something just for Poppy. So I let her bring her, her little iPad and watch, play her games while I'm watching the game. To tell you, man, I was getting hot, man. I was getting mad. The referees, the fix was in. The fix was in for this game. The fix was in. They were gonna do everything they could to give the Knicks momentum, giving them back-to-back calls. Yo, you sup. Now that's a win, boy. That's a win, boy. That's a win. You feel me? Like that win, Ausar Thompson. I have to respect that he played through it. And what I love about what I'm seeing from Ausar Thompson is he's rising to the occasion. I felt like he started off with great defense in game one, and then game two, there was all the foul baiting and all the theatrics, and I felt like that got in his head. And so all of a sudden he started playing with his hands behind his back like this, like he wasn't trying to touch him just to prove that he's not really fouling. And he let Brunson's game get into his head and it began to dictate his game. And for the past few games, he's been playing real passive, like, oh, I just don't want to foul. It's like, nah, man, we need you to elevate your game to where you can not get called for fouls and still be the dominant ball stopper that you are, the dominant shutdown perimeter and interior defender. I would love if somebody would define a breakdown of shooting percentages against what players, against what lineups. Guaranteed, Ausar Thompson has to have the lowest shooting percentage of an opponent in this series. Has to be. Has to be. When Ausar is guarding somebody, they don't score. They don't score. It's rare. If they hit a bucket, it's like they want to congratulate themselves. They're like, oh, I made that thing. They getting hyped off of making one bucket. That's the work that he's doing out there. If I'm JB, I'm almost in a mindset like, look, Ausar, I will play you every minute that Brunson's out there. Every single minute that Brunson's out there. The only way I'm taking you out is if you're in foul trouble. If you pick up 2 fouls in the same quarter, even if you had 0, I'm gonna pull you out just to save you, because you want to roll. I'm gonna pause you and then put you back in the next quarter. And then when it comes to the fourth quarters, you're gonna close out games for us. Because I think somebody put up a statistic that one of the top most efficient lineups in this playoffs is the Detroit Pistons starting lineup. And yet, for some reason, they persistently have not closed with that lineup. I think somehow that metric must have made its way around to the Pistons coaching staff because they remedied that tonight. Tonight, Ausar Thompson was closing. And I think what they realize is that Detroit basketball is about defense. It's about defense. And you have one ringleader for defense on this team. One. Dennis Schroeder does a great job too. I'm not even going to hold you. To be honest, if there's times I probably would rather close the game with Dennis Schroeder, Cade Cunningham, and Ausar Thompson rather than Tim Hardaway Jr. Because I feel like when they see Tim Hardaway, when I say they, I mean the entire New York Knicks perimeter players. When they see Tim Hardaway Jr., they see food. They see a cone. They put all day when they see him. Jalen Brunson's like, oh, I'm in my bag. Shooting with the left. When they see Beasley, they see cone. When they see Thompson, they calling for that screen. They're like, come on, come on, come on, help me out, help me out. But I love what I saw differently today, that now instead of telling Ausar Thompson to fight over every single screen, which takes a lot of energy out of him, they're switching, especially when it's with Cade Cunningham or Tobias Harris. And what that does is it allows Ausar Thompson to play great help defense as well as on-ball defense. See, sometimes people don't understand how valuable quality help defense is when it comes to playing great on-ball defense. No one in this league can really stop players by themselves. Like there's very few. Dyson Daniels, Herb Jones, Ausar and Amen Thompson have that, like, I can do it by myself, but there's very few. The vast majority, it's done collectively. But when you're a great on-ball defender and you have great help defense, it makes you almost unstoppable. And one thing that I noticed in game 4 was that the Knicks were able to play one-on-one and no help defense came. And when I say help defense, I don't always mean a double team coming. Many times it's also you need somebody who is in proximity of the ball, one pass away, who can just dig in at the ball, force them to pick up the ball a little bit earlier. You saw that when OG Anunoby tried to take Cade Cunningham off the bounce. Ausar Thompson dug in, reach for the ball, force him to pick it up early, and Cade Cunningham was able to reach in and just rip the ball out of his hands. That happened because of the help defense. Help defense creates great on-ball defense, right? And these are the adjustments that I saw in this game. But Ausar Thompson's impact on the ball and off the ball have been absolutely incredible. Oh, here we come. I always love my chat. My chat come through with the stats. I love it. I love it. Shout out to Sar, man. Um, I mean, you've been telling the fan base, give that kid time. He a star. The way he stepped up tonight was crucial. He forced the issue today. Facts. And I wouldn't even say that he forced the issue. He played with more force in everything that he did. When he was cutting, when he was diving to the basket, when he was dunking the ball, like he was playing with force. Everything he was doing was purposeful, intentional, and confident. He showed up. He showed up. Big stack of hand. Yo, good game. The Pistons deserve it. The Knicks played like trash the whole game. Good luck. I felt like this game, it was the Pistons imposing their will more than it was the Knicks playing like trash. I felt like the Pistons, for the first time, were taking control of the game and they were dictating the flow. Why? Jalen Brunson's stats this series when Ausar Thompson is on the floor. Game 4, 4 of 10 for 11 points. Uh, let me see. Game 3, 2 of 8. Game 2, 3 of 9. 12 points, four turnovers. Yeah, true. Yeah, great stats. Great stats. Game 1, 6 of 14. Yeah, great stats. 36%. Yeah, true shooting from the field. It's when Ausar Thompson is guarding him. But you know what? What I would love to see is not just Ausar Thompson when he's on the when he's guarding Brunson, just when he's on the floor. Because his help defense, if you notice, he turns guys away from his side just by being there. Just by being there. So even if Cade is guarding him or Tobias Harris, even if they have a mismatch, if they send him towards Ausar Thompson, he has the length and quickness to be able to help and recover, which prevents the Knicks from being able to play make from that position. But they don't really have anyone else who can do that. If I'm honest with you, they only really Ron Holland can, but he doesn't have as strong of a feel. Ausar Thompson is essentially the fulcrum of their defense. As Isaiah Stewart used to be that guy for them. I think his knee is way worse than what's been reported. I don't think he's coming back for the full series. I think at the end we might find out he's getting some sort of surgery, or there's something wrong with that knee, the way he was hobbling. But all that's to say is that he was the fulcrum of the defense, with Ausar Thompson as being like this anomaly, right? Now Ausar Thompson has to be that fulcrum, and he's going to start learning that it's not always about being on the ball. They need to begin to start utilizing him almost like the Niners used to have this one player, Debo Samuels, right? Debo is this great talent, right? Extremely athletic, very skilled. You can play him all over the field. But to get the most out of him, you have to have a mindset to think out of the box. Out of the box. When he's out there, you're running different types of sets. You're looking for different things. You're using him in different ways to maximize his talent. If you only use him in one way, it really diminishes what his potential impact can be. Ausar Thompson is almost the same way. You don't want to use them in just one way. You don't want them just on the ball. If they want to screen, boom, and you can get somebody else on them. You can get Tobias Harris, or you can get Cade Cunningham, or even Tim Hardaway Jr. onto Brunson. That's fine. Let Ausar Thompson roam. Because you know what Ausar Thompson did an amazing job of? Weak side shot blocking. Yeah, they don't have an answer for Ausar. If he's not in foul trouble, they have no solution for him. They don't have another athlete who can stay with him. Yeah, and I love Schroeder on Brunson. I was gonna say, and that's why I said I want to see the closing lineup: Schroeder, Cade Cunningham, Ausar Thompson, Tobias Harris, Jalen Duren. The reason why is because they're gonna generate turnovers, and they can get out in transition. And when they get out in transition and they're generating turnovers, they are able to take control of games in the fourth quarter. They're not depending upon setting up in the half court. when they try to close games going small, where they have Schroeder, Malik Beasley, or Tim Hardaway Jr., and then they have Cade, and they take Asar out, they don't have enough defense. The other team's best scorer, which is Jalen Brunson, or even Mikal Bridges or OG Anunoby, usually get off because they're able to score against a weak link, which is usually Tim Hardaway Jr. They have to go defense first. And Ausar Thompson has been the fulcrum of that. I loved his game today. Can't find the full numbers on Ausar. I'm not paying a subscription for stats. Got you. But with the free tools, Ausar being on the floor is the fifth best defense in the whole playoffs. 93.1 defensive rating. Yo, great man. Yo, why? Much appreciated, bro. Much appreciated. I love the chat when y'all come through with the stats. Totally do. Totally do. All right, smash the like button for me also if you're still in there. Um, but it's to say, this game for me was what I've been waiting on. I did a video before this game, and I said, honestly, the Pistons look kind of soft. And I'm gonna be honest, they're still kind of soft. They're still kind of soft, but they have the ability to play with more energy. You got to remember, Tom Thibodeau's been riding his guys all season long. So their stamina over the course of a game, over the course of a series, is not the same. They have the ability to play with more energy. And when they're creating turnovers, generating turnovers, and pushing tempo, pushing the pace, when they are playing at that speed and that energy level, New York cannot stay with them. They generate their best offense in transition. And this is where they have to hang their hats. Defense, transition. Now, I am hoping that Jalen Duren has his moment also. He hasn't really he had a good game, but it's still a lot left to be desired. I haven't seen second half of the season Jalen Duren yet. The guy that's faking the handoff, wheeling around, and getting to the rim. I've been saying the Detroit Pistons have not learned how to exploit Karl Anthony Towns yet. They have not figured that out yet. And they need to. And when I mean exploit him, I mean they need to put him into action all the time. They got him into foul trouble tonight. And that was also a big part of taking the momentum. Let me see. I really hope the boys don't fall short of the moment. They need to perform in Detroit. Facts. I think they will, depending upon how bad Jalen Brunson's ankle is. He's turned it a couple of times in the series. He turned it in game 4 as well. Um, I would not be shocked if he's out for game 6 in Detroit to make sure that he can close for game 7. I mean, he's the type of player that's going to want to play no matter what, but I wouldn't be shocked. Either way, it's the Pistons are in a position where the players that they're depending upon the most have the least amount of experience. Cade, Ausar, Duren, even Ron Holland. Those guys are learning. And the longer this series extends, the more they have an opportunity to figure it out in real time. And the greater the chance that they have to be able to turn that corner and take control of the series. They could have easily closed the series by now if they had the experience. They still haven't put the game all the way together yet, meaning the veterans shooting well, guys playing off each other, playing their roles, maximizing with a full game. They haven't had that full game yet. Maybe we see it in game 6. Maybe we see it in game 6. I agree with what I will say. They definitely used him tonight more as the hub. We got Cat in full trouble tonight, too. Yep. The key is, though, to stop running our offense, trying to get Brunson on Cade. To stop running our offense, trying to get Brunson on Cade. Okay. To that point. Cade has not figured out how to get that switch and keep that switch. He did towards the end of this game, where the moment Brunson hedged on him, he attacked him. The moment he hedged on him. Too often, Brunson will hedge and he'll sprint back and OG Anunoby will have time to recover, and Cade hesitates versus just going right at him. The moment that that pick and roll happens, he needs to attack Brunson. Yeah, attack Cat too. And that's where I think that Jalen Duren has to attack Cat more as well. I did like seeing Tobias Harris attack him, getting more into his bag and mixing him a little bit. Let's see if we can get him moving side to side. But I think Cade has to master that, creating those mismatches, especially down the stretch. This is something that I've said a long time ago. Cade Cunningham can score against anybody. But Cade, you don't have to prove that every single game. There comes a point in time where you have to figure out how to make the game easy for yourself so you can maximize your efficiency. And this is something that he's figuring out. When he's attacking Brunson and getting downhill, the game's easy. When he's trying to go against OG Anunoby in the half court every single time, it's hard. He wears down. His efficiency diminishes. But at the same time, I think we're almost too Cade centric. Now I will say I want to posit something here. The Detroit Pistons, I'm gonna be completely honest with y'all. This offense, it's got us far, especially with Jaden Ivey out. Kudos to JB Bickerstaff. But Tim Hardaway Jr. and Malik Beasley are completely outside of their role of who they are in the NBA. In the NBA, if they're in EuroLeague, ACB, if they're playing in Spain, China, Australia, if they're playing in the G League, they're probably MVPs, lighting the world on fire. In the NBA, they are role players. They're spot up guys. Straight line drive, get out in transition. Bench guys. They're not starters for playoff teams. The NBA knows this. They have played above and beyond all expectations. However, the playoffs are exposing what they are. This is not a slight. This is important that we recognize, and hopefully the Pistons recognize who they are and who they're not, so that they can begin to play to other strengths. When those two guys are combining for 30 plus shot attempts, I understand this theory around volume 3-point shooting and that it generates offense, it creates openings in other ways. But there are times that it also detracts from your offense. And one of the major areas that I've said from the beginning has got to be an area that the Pistons fix, that they remedy, is in how they use Jalen Duren. Jalen Duren has been ending games with 4 shot attempts, 5 shot attempts, 3 shot attempts. There is no reason in this world that Jalen Duren should play 30 plus minutes in a game and has 5 shot attempts. Yeah, it looked like Brunson tweaked that knee. Something to watch. Yes, it is. Because what you're actually seeing, he actually tweaked the ankle last game. Tweaking the knee could be an indication that it's going up that kinetic chain on the same leg, or he's overcompensating. That is something to keep watch over. But if I'm honest with you, I'm more focused on the Pistons and how they're playing, because if they play their best basketball, they are the better team. They have yet to play a complete game and play their best basketball as a team. Tim Hardaway Jr., Malik Beasley, those two are going to have to play better. And it's not about shooting more. even making more. It's about taking and making higher quality shots. Just knock down the open ones. You don't have to give all the moves, the shake and bake, getting into your bag. We don't need you to be Cade Cunningham. We don't even need you to be Dennis Schroeder. We need you to be the best version of yourself for an NBA playoff team. And that's as a catch and shoot, pump fake, and straight line drive player. Get out in transition. If you don't have that shot opportunity, kick the ball to someone else. Getting into this repetitive one pass, one shot offensive system, it completely slows down and stalls out the Detroit Pistons offense. And where I'd rather them shift a lot of that energy to the defensive end, especially rebounding. Malik Beasley and Tim Hardaway Jr. need to be giving you at least 4 rebounds a game for the amount of minutes that they're playing. Ending the game with 0 and 1 and 2 rebounds and playing 30 minutes, 28 minutes is unacceptable. Not in a playoff game. Not in a playoff game where it is a literal rebounding battle. And everybody has to get involved. You know how we know this? Because Deuce McBride is rebounding. Jalen Brunson is rebounding. Mikal Bridges is rebounding. Josh Hart is rebounding. Shamet, Payne, everyone is going after those balls. Why aren't y'all? You cannot be one-trick ponies. Not in the playoffs. You can't afford that. Especially because you guys have been struggling to shoot and knock down shots. Now here's a news flash for everybody. Everyone's three-point shooting goes down in the playoffs. Everyone. Across the board. Which is why you cannot be so heavily dependent on knocking down threes. You have to figure out other ways to generate offense. Getting to those loose balls, those 50-50 balls that anyone has a chance to get. Josh Hart has been swallowing them up. Deuce McBride has been swallowing them up. Probably one of the biggest plays was the inbound pass that almost got stolen. Right? The Knicks could have stolen this game if that inbound pass had gotten stolen. But Tobias Harris deflects it, and we come up with that loose ball. Right? These are those plays that matter the whole game through. Malik Beasley and Tim Hardaway Jr. have to do a better job of generating opportunities for us, contributing far outside of just knocking down shots. But at the heart of the matter, the Detroit Pistons played their asses off. They had a great game. Ausar Thompson showed up. I'm so glad he had his game. I'm so glad he had this game that he can look back to and know that he showed up for his team, because that's important. It's important to feel like you were able to contribute how you know that you can for your team. And seeing Ausar being able to feel confident in his game, to see him out there contributing at a high level, being able to play well, being able to not just play lockdown defense, but also great help defense, getting block shots and steals and deflections and loose balls and getting dunks and getting out there. It was everything that you could have hoped for Ausar Thompson to show up in this game for the Pistons. Kudos to him. Kudos to Cade Cunningham sticking with it. It's a heavy load. You know, heavy is the head that wears the crown, they say. It's hard to be the man. It's hard to be that dude. It's hard to be the one that everybody's focused on. It's not easy. It takes a lot of energy out of you, which is why I've been saying you got to figure out how to make the game easy for yourself as the game goes on, as the series goes on, so that you have energy to close. Because if you're trying to play one-on-one ball and trying to dominate your matchup, especially against great on-ball defenders like OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges and Josh Hart, if you're trying to go one-on-one to prove that, A, you can score against anybody, you're going to wear yourself out. Stay within the flow of the offense. Continue to generate offense off the ball, within movement, exploiting mismatches, getting to your sweet spots. so that you can save your energy to close the game for us. But this was a great game. This was a great game. I appreciated Tobias Harris fighting Karl Anthony Towns tooth and nail. It's a mismatch for him. We did not start this series saying Tobias Harris on Karl Anthony Towns. That was supposed to be Isaiah Stewart. His knees hurt. He's out. We don't have him. Next man up. Paul Reed, he's been struggling. He gives us decent energy, but people struggle under the big lights. They do. And that's why the one person I'm hoping to show up is Jalen Duren next. I want 10 shot. I'm waiting for a game where Jalen Duren has 10 or more shot attempts. Yeah, give me the 12 to 15 rebounds. You can do that in your sleep. I want 10 to 15 shot attempts. That's what I want. That's what I want. When you get your 10 to 15 shot attempts and you get up to 18 to 20 points in a game, plus your 12 to 15 rebounds, that's the game I want for you before this series is up. But hey, as always, go Knicks. I'm sorry, go Pistons. Forget the Knicks. Damn, I can't stand the Knicks. I really can't stand. I'm not a fan of Karl Anthony Towns. I hate his game style. He's the biggest goofball weirdo out there. I don't care. Even when he makes shots, he's a weirdo. Oh my god. Oh my god. I just can't stand his game. And Jalen Brunson flopping all over. Like I was so glad Jalen Duren called him out and it got caught. Cause I think that's how pretty much all the NBA players feel about him at this point. Like they just looking at you like, man, you're just a sucker out here, man. Like you basically just saying like you're not good enough to really score against people. Like you're not really good. Like the only way you have a chance is to just foul bait, is to try to trick a referee into calling a foul on somebody. You know, okay, your ankle hurts. Okay, uh, uh, your knee hurts. I get it. I get it. But don't cheat the game. Don't cheat the game. The basketball guys don't like that. But hey, I'm gonna get off. I'm actually gonna rewatch the game probably either tonight or tomorrow morning. Then I'm gonna do a more of a breakdown live where I get into the different things that I saw that they were doing well. The Pistons were doing well. What to expect in Game 6? What the Knicks might try to bring. I think they're gonna try to establish Towns even more. I think what we're gonna need to see is more help defense. I think we look really good when we're flying around, especially when we're helping off the ball and digging into guys attacking the basket, forcing them to take tough shots and kicking the ball out. Um, a couple things we gotta improve upon. Mikal Bridges getting that last three. There's no way Dennis Schroeder should have been on him in that situation. It should have been Ausar Thompson. They should have probably had Dennis Schroeder on Jalen Brunson, or just gone big. I would like to see more Ron Holland, but I get it. They pulled out the win. It is what it is. I'm gonna do a deeper breakdown later on after I rewatch the game a second time, and I'm gonna see y'all then. As always, smash the like button for me. It's your man 100 Grand Ross with the Rock Never Stops. Hope you enjoyed the video. Smash the like button and subscribe and the bell for notifications. I'm gonna get at y'all next time. Peace.